It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Steelers and the Silver and Black on Thursday night primetime.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, thrilled to be back with you. Charles, today is the day, September 7th, 2023. Should be a national holiday, in my view. 206 days since the Chiefs beat the Eagles in Super Bowl 57. The NFL is back. The opening Thursday night game happening tonight. Let's talk big picture. What kind of chances do you give the Chiefs and the Eagles of repeating as conference champions?
First of all, I'm with you. It should be a national holiday. I like where your head is on that one. Let's talk about the Chiefs. They've just dominated the AFC West. I give them an excellent chance of getting back to the conference championship game and maybe beyond. For the Eagles, a little more problematic. There hasn't been a repeat champion in the NFC East since the Eagles did it in 2003, 2004. So their road appears to be a little bit tougher.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the second-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
Pickett didn't quite lead Pittsburgh to the promised land in his first season as the hometown kid and franchise quarterback, but he did impress once he got in the field. Winning 7 games helped keep the vaunted streak of non-losing seasons alive in the Steel City.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett. And his first pass is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
2nd and 10, it's Pickett again. He's got this to Pickens. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Pickett. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Second and 9. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And down to the 36-yard line here. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Pickett now on 1st down. Man open is Robinson. Robinson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Pickett. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Credit the sack there to Chandler Jones. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Holding, receiving team.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice, and that often runs you into a penalty.
When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. If you missed the first half, there's not much to get you caught up on. Just the lone field goal accounting for the entirety of the scoring. A 3-0 game to this point, as both defenses have been strong so far.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Cameron Hayward, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? They'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Cameron Hayward drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is going to have a Raiders first down, and this is going to wind up being not just a conversion, but a play that flips the field as well.
Oh, man, they are living on the razor's edge. If this is incomplete, this game's over. Instead, it's a huge pickup. And I think the win percentage calculator is going to have to work overtime here because this game has really had some swings.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Garoppolo's throw going to be taken in by Cole. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Garoppolo. Caught on the right side by Adams. And out of bounds right around the 20. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Garoppolo to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now Garoppolo. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. This is 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. It's caught. Left side, Bolden. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Back to throw. That's complete into the hands of Myers.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line. Back to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the fourth, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? This feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Ice and tense on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
So the Raiders are going to get the football first here in the overtime session as we are back underway. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So third down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does four down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less, because you got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be 4th and 3 for some teams, but I think anything under 4th and 5, they'll think about going for it.
Looking deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Pickett with the first throw of overtime. He's got Pickens complete and brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
Looking to throw here, Pickett. He's got Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, this offense is wasting no time getting into the flow of the game. They've come out throwing. 2 quick completions have this defense on their heels as they're already across midfield and driving.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as he gets this to the Raiders' 39. Time. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Pickett will look to throw it here. Forced out to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Holding offense.
Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time You lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back? Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Gets it downfield to Mayer. Big strides, look at him go. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. And they have won it here in double overtime. So as it turns out, a two-play drive resulting in the field goal. Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them,